Hello and welcome to the Kuribros, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime Recap Podcast. I'm your host, the Seal of Orichalcos, Arf Arf. Joining me, my co-host, the man who went on Mickey's Dick Smasher and all he got was this t-shirt, it's Andy. How you doing, Andy?
My dick hurts.
Yeah?
It hurts a lot.
Was that before or after Mickey's Dick Smasher got grubby little mitts on you?
I think you can answer that yourself. And I don't know why I got the lightning plane for it, but I did. I guess I'm just a...
Well, you don't want to
glutton for
drag out
punishment.
the experience, like standing in line waiting for it, and like, oh, it's gonna smash my dick.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're waiting for a long roller coaster ride, but you don't want to go on the roller coaster, but your significant other does, and you're just like sitting there like, I don't want to go on this thing.
And your significant other doesn't know why you're worried because they don't have a dick to get smashed by Mickey's Dick Smasher. You're like, no, we're just going on Mickey's Smasher.
My wife was very confused why I was getting all scared.
I think that was the fastest I've ever started cursing in one of our episodes.
It's okay. Who fucking cares?
Not me. Welcome to the first episode of Season 4 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime.
Well, we're at Season 4! We did it! We've gotten to Season 4! It's crazy. Thank you for all those who have listened.
Yeah,
or haven't listened.
We're in the Orichalcos, Waking the Leviathan, Waking the Dragons, Legendary Dragons, whatever tagline. What tagline did they use for this one in the dub?
Waking the Dragons is what it's called.
Waking the Dragons.
So after that, like before we were doing the off-season episodes of Pyramid of Light and Yu-Gi-Oh! R, and obviously we just did Season 3 and everything. So now we are in basically filler territory for another season and a half. So buckle up and enjoy that if you are manga enjoyers or like canon enjoyers, because not really gonna do much canon. It's gonna just be a lot of, I guess, the anime plotting time for the final arc.
Yeah, the fanfic vibes are strong with this one.
It's not, so far I will say it hasn't been too unbearable.
The antagonist OC has heterochromia.
What is that?
Your eyes are two different colors.
Oh. That's
like,
not that bad.
That's like fanfiction self-insert 101.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, it's like a common trope. It's like baby's first character has like so many edgy traits, like the angel wings or heterochromia, or scythes and stuff like that.
I mean, he's got a decent character design besides that.
No, his character design is fine. It's just, I have to make fun of it because God forbid I take that man seriously.
Well, I think the bridge also ruined that for us too.
Oh yes, the seer of Yori Kalkamados.
I'm gonna find you, Gamoto. We're gonna take his dick.
We're gonna cut
his dick in it.
We're gonna cut his dick into 3 pieces. Shout out to Little Kribo for drastically altering my sense of humor in negative ways.
In horrible ways, especially with his Merrick's dad.
Yeah, that one did a lot.
That one's hilarious. But
we're not here to talk about Merrick's dad.
He's dead.
He's super dead.
Merrick's not here anymore.
We are here to talk about the first 6 episodes of the season.
Yeah, we're gonna start with like the introduction stuff, all the setup stuff. We're just gonna get that out of the way. We'll get a couple duels in there. Yugi duels someone, Kaiba duels someone, kind of. Yeah. Half.
I've already
like half and
spaced
half.
out how these episodes are going to be recorded for this season, and I think there was like a couple of times where it was like 2 episodes of duel and then 2 episodes of not duel for like lore and travel and stuff.
So, I mean, and so far it's gone in a pretty like typical Yu-Gi-Oh! Filler where it's like they have the A plot, which is the stuff that actually matters, and then the B plot, which is just like, this is like the episodes I cover, Yugi and the gang are just driving the entire time. And so it's like there's nothing else to do, but they have to figure out how to fill that B plot slot.
Yeah, when I was like checking in on the episodes you cover when I was just watching, not really taking notes, like every time I looked in on it, Yugi was saying the exact same line.
Yes, that's something that happens a lot during the fillers, I noticed, is they just kind of keep recapping things because they don't know what else to talk to them about or progress their plot in any way. I think this season would have been a lot shorter if they actually knew how to make an A and B plot.
Yep.
But regardless, there was still some pretty cool, like I have not hated this so far yet.
No, I don't hate it. It's fine.
It's probably better for you with the Hawkins stuff. Rebecca's not got much better for me.
I think you mean Hopkins.
Is that what it is?
Yep, it's Hopkins in the sub.
Oh man, that's not what it is. It's Rebecca and I forget his name, Hawkins.
Arthur.
That's what it is. I don't know why I forgot it. I just watched 6 episodes of them. Anywho, Phoenix is going to take the first 4 episodes because we did the...
Yeah, Andy, we just recorded Yu-Gi-Oh! R. Andy did all the talking for that one, so I volunteered to take the lion's share for this.
And I also just told Phoenix all about my vacation right before this too. So I'm talked out for a little bit. So Phoenix will take it. I'll chime in when I can or if I have anything to say, and we'll kind of go from there. We'll try and make this as quick as possible since 6 episodes.
Yep, so buckle your seatbelts because we're moving into episode 145. The episode opens up in a shot of the sea before going below the waves to follow a submarine, and I'm reminded of the Titanic submersible, and I laugh.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that too.
The sub enters some kind of sunken ruins, and after entering an air pocket, the sub opens to reveal Dr. Hopkins emerging, and he shines a flashlight in the wall showing tablets that resemble the ones from ancient Egypt depicting dual monster spirits. And then we cut away from whatever the hell this was about to a news reporter on a TV while we see Rex and Weevil walking on the street. The news reporter talks about the ruins that were just found being in the Caribbean off the coast of America, wherever that is. And they're believed to have been from an ancient civilization that sank into the sea. Rex and Weevil, thinking about other shit, run into each other on the sidewalk, literally. Both of them are after the god cards, despite Battle City being over. And the pair then storm off down the street where they run into a cloaked figure, also literally, who calls them out by name, for some reason, and says he's going to take their souls before deploying an edgy scythe-shaped dual disc. And the loser pair cry out in fear as the scene transitions, and I'm sure they're either fine or dead.
I remember loving those dual discs when they first came out, when Waking and Dragons was first being introduced to America. I was like, finally, a new dual disc. So I was a little hyped seeing them again now. Also, is this Rebecca's grandpa's fault?
No.
Is this all his fault because he discovered that shit?
No, this is not his fault at all. It's just weird coincidence.
I'm blaming him.
Also, I had one of those Orichalcos Scythe dual discs.
So did I. I had the Battle City one, I had the Orichalcos one, and I had the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX one, which is still probably objectively my favorite one.
I like the GX ones a lot.
I think it's my favorite, if I had to pick one.
Yeah, that's when the way things were looking got all weird because they were doing rounded edges instead of everything being all sharp and dynamic.
Yeah, and it was like, but they had a bunch of like extra ones. Like there was like they had like different creative designs for them, which I liked. And I think they kind of throw that away in other series.
Yeah, they greatly ignored dual discs as representation of characters post GX.
They get like CGI at some point. It looks like.
Yeah, at one point they're like laser blades, and like you'd think I would love that, but I don't.
It doesn't execute as well as you'd like think.
Yeah.
But we're down to that. We're still doing the cool Battle City ones.
Anyway, we cut to the school where Taya, Joey, and Tristan are, and they're talking about Yugi and the Pharaoh. But before we actually hear what they talk about, we immediately cut to the Pharaoh walking down the street going to the museum. Pharaoh wants to look at the ancient tablet and plans to do whatever he's got to do with the god cards without telling his friends, believing that the experience of saying goodbye to them would be too painful. At the museum, however, his friends catch up to him, so none of this fucking mattered.
No, it doesn't.
Great.
It's awesome. And it's just like this weird, like, small conflict. I think they were trying to kind of, like, hint at the Millennium World beginnings, but they can't do it fully yet.
They tried to start season 5 and the last half of season 5. And then they're like, hey, we got some filler we got first. Pump the brakes.
Dart said, fuck you, we can't do canon shit yet.
Yeah. We cut to some temple room somewhere where it's got some braziers and snake statues, and there's a cloaked man with teal hair doing some chanting, as my subtitles called it. We then immediately cut away from that, because God forbid we stay on one topic in this season.
Yeah, I was jumping a lot.
In the museum, at the tablet, Tristan and Joey are actually seeing it for the first time, and they remark that the ancient pharaoh does look a lot like Yugi. The pharaoh presents the 3 god cards to the tablet, and it starts to glow, but at the same time, the teal-haired cloakster's chant has an effect on the tablet, causing it to become encased in either crystal or ice. They don't specify.
I think it's ice. Could be crystal. I don't know.
Well, someone get the hair dryers and bust that bitch out of there.
It's probably special ice, special magic ice, you know, like, I don't know, an ice sorcerer. Or crystals.
I'm going to go with crystals, because the Orichalcos people have little Orichalcos crystals.
True. I didn't even think
Except
about
this
that.
crystal's like light blue and see-through, like ice has been, not like the green that the Orichalcos crystals are. You know what? I'm not going to pretend they thought about this any more than I did.
Good thought.
The god cards themselves begin to spark with dark purple energy, and the pharaoh's like, oh no, some bullshit's happening to my ancient magic bullshit. And we don't have time to dwell on that because a scream is heard from outside, and everyone runs out to see actual duel monsters flying around and climbing on buildings and generally terrifying the public, but not actually like interacting with anything or like crushing anyone or killing anyone or hitting cars. They're just kind of there.
Yeah, they're kind of like there's some climbing on buildings, but they're kind of just like
they're not interacting with anyone directly.
It's a worldly
Like,
haunted
when
house.
Back to the Future 2, when Jaws 3D almost eats Marty McFly.
It's kind of what
it's a hologram, so nothing happens.
But these weren't holograms, though. They're real things.
But we don't see them interact, so we don't know. Like, yeah, they talk about, like, oh, there's dual monsters going around, and, yeah, like, they're, like, news people are, like, going out to Kaiba Corp, like, hey, do you know anything about this with your solid vision system? But, like, we never see anyone say, oh, my God, that dual monster just stole that child or flipped over a truck or something. None of that happens. We're just told there are dual monsters and something's happening, but we don't see anything.
I guess it was like it'd be too graphic to show actual dual monsters taking people and killing people, but they keep insinuating in other ways. So it's like you're showing it in other places, but not now. And filler.
Yeah,
filler. It's just filler. I think about the one. I think it was King Yamada or whatever.
Yeah,
just climbing on the building, and it's like nothing was being destroyed. He's just climbing.
Yeah, he likes to be tall. He wants to get up there.
Twin-headed King Rex I believe Twin-headed King Rex was confused.
Yeah, he like saw a car and was like, what the fuck?
It's like, what is this? My other head doesn't even know either.
The Vehicroids haven't been made yet, so he doesn't know what a car dual monster is.
Oh my god, I forgot about those.
Yeah, they're bad.
When did they ever get good?
Never.
Yeah.
They literally have never gotten good.
Never. They're never
Drillroid
a meta.
is kind of playable in a sealed format, but that's it.
Drillroid was cool.
Yeah, Drillroid is the most usable roid monster. Anyway, we're not here to talk about GX yet.
We're getting there.
The gang all runs off to Kaiba Corp. There are news people out there asking for interviews and answers, but they say that Mr. Kaiba is in America doing some shit, and so he'll do a press conference later.
Eh.
On the sidewalk, after not getting any answers, the squad finds Rex and Weevil just standing around and talking like those weirdos that hang out outside convention centers, talking about the end of the world being nigh. What the fuck is up with those guys, huh?
Those guys are miserable. Like, absolutely miserable. Like, they had nothing but mean things to say to... Like, I assume you're kind of bringing up the fact that we did that happened to us once at a con. And they were just, like, for a bunch of people who express, like, love and, like, preaching that shit... They were the most mean people there. They were just like calling people like horrible names. Like I obviously called one of our friends a whore and everything like that. But it's like, why? Like everyone else is like having this good time and you're here just kind of like being this really just negative group.
Yeah, like people are like out with their families to like look at nerd shit. And your response is to talk about the end of days and just being an ass to people.
And saying like everything we like is satanic, which is weird.
I have a decent amount of free time on my hands. I don't have that much free time to make a sign and go into the city and fuck around doing nothing but that all day.
Like it's not even protesting. It's just being outwardly like you're just miserable.
You're just
and
being a
dick. Yeah. So if there's anyone listening who's do that, just stop listening to us because we don't agree with you.
Yeah, clearly you didn't read the Bible because the 11th commandment is thou shalt not be an asshole.
Yeah, that's right.
In general, most of the commandments are about not being an asshole, and yet here we are.
This was a topic I actually had with my wife a little while ago because we were talking about things about it. But that's for another day and another podcast. Maybe when we do a political podcast.
Yeah. Stay tuned for The End Is Nigh, a podcast about doomsday people.
Take us to the Kuribros.
The podcast
news edition. News edition.
Yeah.
We'll have like the art will be us at like a news desk.
Mm-hmm. What's like the Who's line bits like? Welcome to 6 o'clock news. I'm your host Arthur. Any more donuts?
That would be us. That'd be kind of how your sign on is. It'd be just like that. It's like welcome to the Kuribros New Edition. I am farting in my pants.
I am shitting and farting. Anyway, the gang goes to Cybercorp. No answers. Rex and Weevil are there. They're being weird. So they all respond in the normal way. They go back to Grandpa's shop to do nothing.
Yeah, like they're just watching the news. That's really all they're doing. They leave the frail Grandpa Moto in charge of walking after the God cards, the most powerful cards in Duel Monsters.
To be fair, Grandpa does own a card shop, and he took a lot of care of his blue eyes, so I guess he knows card maintenance and stuff.
Yeah,
just,
but
keep the humidity levels good so the cards don't foil and bend.
It's not really the fact that he wasn't it's the fact that they're the most sought after cards, and what happened because they left them in charge of an old man was the only one looking after them.
Let's be real, because we'll talk about what happens is a bunch of bikers steal the cards. But speaking of those bikers in relation to getting the God cards, would 4 teenagers have done a better job than one old man versus Raphael, who is 6 foot 7 feet tall?
I would take my chances.
Built like a brick shithouse.
I mean, if you had him in a safe and you had Joey going against him with a yo-yo, you don't know what's possible. Joey's killed a man with a yo-yo, I think.
Yo-yos are supposed to be pointing at the floor, not at people. Think about that in the hospital.
I think
For those who don't know, watch our episode 0 or season 0 episode.
See season 0. I could believe that Tristan and Joey would at least put up a fight to the point where Yugi and Taya would be able to escape with them or something. Or they would just duel about it, and then that's fine.
Anyway, Grandpa's shop. Grandpa's cleaning the cards. The squad watching TV about duel monsters appearing all over the world. Kaiba does make a statement denying Kaiba Corporation's involvement. Taya and the Pharaoh figure out that the monsters are connected to the tablet being sealed away, but we don't have time for that because Grandpa cries out in pain, the squad goes and finds him, and he was assaulted and the God cards were stolen. Uh-oh. We already made the jokes. Squad runs outside to see the gods are summoned over the city skyline, and Yugi says only someone related to the Millennium items can summon the gods. But Mai summoned Ra, albeit in sphere mode, so I don't think that's technically true.
Well, I think one of the things was that...
Was there a thing about the god cards had to be one?
It's I think, not necessarily they had to be one, but you did have to, at least for Ra, you had to know the chant to actually use it, which Mai didn't know and couldn't read. But there's no such chance for Slifer or Obelisk. And I guess since he was influenced by Merrick, it doesn't count, but Strings summoned Slifer.
I think that one gets a pass because that was Merrick who was driving.
Yeah, so that would be my only thing. I don't think there was anything to do with I don't think it had anything to do with, at least for the Obelisk and Slifer, but I think for Ra, since it was the most powerful, quote unquote, in the show, you did have to know the chant to summon it, or it was basically useless to you. I don't know. I think they just found a way to not use it.
I'm going to go ahead and take this as a pass to hype up Mai, because I need to give her something this season.
You do really need to give her something this season, because holy hell. Also, little side note, did your caller operators for Kaiba Corp say anything funny when they were taking, because one of mine did.
I didn't see anything funny, just usual stuff like, hey, thank you for calling Kaiba Corporation, we're aware of the problem, no, it's not us, that sort of thing.
Yeah, they started with that, and then someone in a split second, there's some A+ ad-libs, Joey's dub actors peak, and one of the ladies goes, "There's a mystical elf on your front lawn?" And it's just very quick and very in the middle of all the hello, thank you for calling Kaiba, thank you for calling Kaiba, no, this is not us, There's a mystical elf on your front lawn. And it was just delivered so perfectly. Speaking
of deliveries, some people are here. A trio of bikers turn on their LED high beams about 2 feet away from the squad.
Rude.
Which means they must be, modern motorcycles, because I fucking hate LEDs.
Oh, me too.
The squad say, or not the squad, the trio say that they are Doma's 3 musketeers, admit they stole the gods, and tell the Pharaoh to come to a construction site to get them back. At the site, the squad encountered the cloaked guy who took Rex and Weevil's souls, who is not one of the bikers. He says his name is Garimo, and he is with the biker dudes. Specifically, he serves under Raphael, whoever that is, because we don't know specifically yet. Garimo has a monocle, but other than that is a pretty generic-looking dude.
It's very oh, you're going down first.
Yeah. He squares up with the Pharaoh for a duel. Pharaoh is going first, summoning Beta the Magnet Warrior in defense, set 1 card and pass. Garimo summons Marauding Captain, which its effect when it's summoned lets him summon a level 4 lower monster from his hand, which he does, and it is Shadow Tamer. Garimo then activates the Seal of Orichalcos field spell. A 6-pointed star in a circular glyph appears around the duelists, and Garima explains that they both cannot leave the arena until it is over, and only the winner will be able to leave, because the seal will take the loser's soul. The Pharaoh thinks this is a shadow game type thing and tries to do something Millennium-y about it, but nothing happens. And Garimo says Millennium items are useless inside the seal. The seal also has the effect of giving all of Garimo's monsters 500 attack points and making them all dark monsters.
Do they emphasize the fact that Atlantis is like older than the Millennium stuff? Like, it's like Atlantis is like 10,000 years, well, this is only like 5,000 years.
At no point in my episodes do they say the word Atlantis.
They bring up Atlantis a lot, and they say, like, because our magic is older, it is more powerful than your magic that is 5,000 years younger. That's kind of like one of the things they kind of justified to have Yugi have conflict.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
The Marauding Captain attacks and destroys Beta, and the Pharaoh activates his set Soul Rope, which lets him pay 1,000 life points to summon a level 4 monster from his deck, which he summons Gamma in defense mode, which has more defense than Shadow Tamer's attack, so Garimo ends his battle phase by setting one card in main 2 and ends his turn. On the sidelines, the 3 bikers show up and are watching from higher up, and each of them calls out a specific character. The Pharaoh from... I know what their names are, so I'm just gonna use them. Raphael calls out the Pharaoh, Valen calls out Joey, and Alistair, whose name is not Alistair in the sub, calls out Kaiba. And I made a note where Alistair's actual name was said in the sub. Not there. Imelda.
Imelda. Interesting.
Yep.
But everything else
There's something
is the
very
same?
gender non-conforming going on with Imelda, and yeah, that was popular in anime back then.
That's fine.
it's
Is
fine.
Raphael and Val, or Raphael, the other ones?
Raphael
like
and Valen are still Raphael and Valen.
Whatever, man.
Also, fucking Valen. That's the name I have the most problem with.
And he's the Australian one, the dub.
Yeah, he's
He's
the man's
Jace.
like 5'2".
He's Jace. He's literally Jace.
Oh boy, fucking Valen. I hate Valen. I think Valen sucks.
Oh boy, I can't wait to watch him in Joey's duels. I mean, what?
I think you mean they're dual singular.
Oh yeah, they only had the one, didn't they?
Yeah, spoiler alert. Everyone else like gets 2 matches, but Valen and Joey get 1. Joey has other stuff to worry about.
Joey has other Civil War, which we'll talk about next episode, but we have to get through these episodes first.
Yay!
Yay!
Pharaoh's turn, he summons Alpha, the Magnet Warrior, and Garimo responds by activating his set Hidden Soldiers, which lets him summon a dark monster from his hand, and he summons Makayura the Destructor, a Merrick favorite. Pharaoh activates the Shallow Grave, which lets both duelists summon a monster from their graveyards, but since Garimo has none, he gets nothing, and the Pharaoh gets back Beta. Pharaoh then has the Magnet Warriors combined into Valkyrion, the Magna Warrior, and has it attack the Marauding Captain, destroying it and putting Garimo down to 2,200 life points before ending his turn. Garimo then plays Monster Reborn, bringing back the Captain, then tributes all of his monsters to summon Obelisk the Tormentor. Obelisk has 4,500 attack due to Seal of Orichalcos giving it a boost, and Garimo says that the seal also allows him to control it. And that's where the episode ends.
It's a good first episode. Get a little
bad.
information. Not like it's a good, like, you have questions, you want to keep going. Not a terrible first villain, definitely like the fodder, the Raditz of it all, but like definitely still shows the stakes pretty well. I like the dub's intro. I like there's like a lot of cool stuff in that I appreciate a lot.
We actually have not gotten a new intro in the sub yet.
Well, we did. And fuck you.
Alright, well.
It's pretty cool. It's better, it's the best one so far.
I do think it's weird that they do the cold open with like the submarine and the ruins, but they don't elaborate on it in that episode.
No, they don't. Wait till like 3 episodes later.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, I get why they do it early, because like it is connected, and like where else would you put it? But like people are gonna forget, because that'd be like 3 weeks of airtime.
It seems to be kind of the formula of it all, because they seem to kind of like open, like, I think they open the
They do it a few times.
series. They'll open Millennium World like that, where it's like Grandpa Moto finding the Millennium Puzzle and whatever. Spoilers. I guess that's really spoilers, but like, so it's not really like unfounded, but you're right. It is a little disjointed from everything else, but what we'll come to find out, there'll be some disjointed stuff in all this stuff, in all these episodes.
Speaking of episodes, episode 146, Garimo opens up by having Obelisk do his best Little Mech impression, punching out Valkyrion, putting the Pharaoh at 2,000 life points, and ending his turn. Garimo is having a little case of double vision, and the biker trio remark that even with the Seal of Orichalcos, you can't fully subjugate a god card, so he's having some effects. But this doesn't really come up ever again. Meh.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't really. It's just kind of like meh. It's kind of like one of those things they like try to acknowledge, but then they don't ever like acknowledge. I guess I mean,
I don't think
Obelisk
anyone
doesn't
else
stay too
ever
long.
summons a god card like,
No.
of the evil group. So
I guess
it
because
doesn't
of
matter.
that, because of really that. Maybe it's because they saw that and they acknowledged that they're like, well, we shouldn't do that, which would make sense.
They're like, oh man, I gotta go to frickin' Vision Care after this duel.
Well, he only is wearing one monocle.
Oh yeah, maybe that's the actual problem. He's just getting confused.
He just got his eyesight's fucked.
Is like one monocle the equivalent of wearing like a contact lens?
I think so. I think that's what the idea is supposed to be. Is like it's like one eye's better than the other, maybe. But like it's not really often that happens. I feel like I don't know. I wear glasses, but
I wear them too.
I'm not an eye doctor. Stop giving descriptions. People are gonna know what you look like. You're a
I
person
wear
with glasses.
2 monocles behind my glasses, so I see in telescopic vision. I can also rotate my eyes like a chameleon.
Oh, that's sick.
I can also change my color like a chameleon and eat bugs like a. I'm not a chameleon, in case anyone was curious, but there are some people who might say that in certain light I may look like I am climbing trees at very slow, awkward, stilted paces. And is this bit going anywhere? Is this doing anything for anyone?
I'm smiling like
Is this
it's
I'm
like
a chameleon bit funny?
It's making me laugh.
Well, that's one person, which is more than I need. Anyway, the Pharaoh's turn. He plays Graceful Charity, drawing 3 cards, discarding 2, then summons Gazelle in defense mode, sets 1 card, and passes. Grimo sets 1 card on his turn, attacks with Obelisk, and Grimo does a little exposition drop about how when the Pharaoh loses his soul, it will go to feed the god who will destroy and remake the world. Joey remembers Rex and Weevil talking about stuff vaguely like that, which is stuff that they very vaguely said about the end of the world, which is like very strange how they're like that committee be like, oh, I see the connecting thread, and it's like there was barely anything to connect there.
It's like they could have just been huffing galaxy gas. You don't know. They could have been going crazy.
Yeah, also, why would you take Rex and Weevil seriously?
They were about to try and face Yugi for the god cards after being eliminated like right away from Battle City. Both of them.
Yep. The bikers, however, confirm that they took Rex and Weevil's souls and have trapped them in cards like Pegasus used to do. Tristan almost kills Joey by knocking him off the construction site when they both try to walk towards the bikers.
I hate Tristan.
Yeah, like straight up like Joey like walks towards like an edge, is like, whoa, I almost fell, and then Tristan just looks like, huh? Bump, push.
Never not an opportunity to shit on Tristan. We always can take time for that.
Yep. Pharaoh's turn, and he activates Monster Reborn, reviving Valkyrion, and has it split back into its 3 parts. He then activates Brave Attack, which makes the Magnet Warriors throw themselves at Obelisk, and it uses their combined total attack for damage calculation at the cost of destroying all the Magnet Warriors. And Grima takes 100 damage.
It's a real card.
I think Brave Attack is a real card. I don't think it does that.
I doubt it. It's like they perfectly define an ass pull for Yugi in the worst moments.
Brave Attack is an anime only.
Aha, see? I think a lot of these cards are probably anime only though. So I guess it's the only one that makes sense.
Yeah, not...
I'm not real.
Grimo then decides it's his turn, just saying Yugi's turn is over, which a lot of duelists do, and it's rude every time. And he activates Card of Sanctity, so both duelists draw until they have 6 cards in hand. And the Pharaoh drew Wadapon, which lets it summon itself when drawn by an effect, so he has some defense. Shout out to the movie cards.
I love Wadapon.
Grimo then summons Warrior Digrepher, and the Pharaoh responds to its summon with Dark Renewal, which lets him tribute both their monsters to summon Dark Magician from his graveyard, which he had discarded with Graceful Charity. Grimo then sets 1 card and ends his turn. Pharaoh's turn, and he attacks directly, but Grimo activates Shield Wall, which summons 4 monsters with 1,000 defense. It's like Scapegoat, but better. Thankfully, this card is not real, because getting 4 monsters immediately and not having the Scapegoat restriction of not being able to summon for the rest of the turn is fucking busted. Grimo also activates the card Bronze Knights, which is another not real card, but is slightly more balanced. This card lets him discard however many cards he wants and summon a Bronze Knight token for each card he discarded. He discards 3 cards, getting 3 Bronze Knights, but wait, that's 6 monsters. But what? The bikers then reveal that the Seer of Orichalcos expands the monster zone to include these spell and trap spots, so its controller can have a total of 10 monsters on the field at once. And the monsters in the spell and trap zone cannot be attacked if there's a monster in the monster zone. But what?
It doesn't even really make much sense. It doesn't really feel that like.
I think if you already have 5 monsters, you're already in a great spot.
I know, that's the thing, is like there's not really much more of an advantage unless you have like your better monsters in the back and you have to like it's like going through it's like One Piece in a way where you have to Like, but you don't even have to like go through the main force to get to the leaders. I don't know. So it's kind of useless.
Yeah, it's weird and it's dumb.
It doesn't really like I can't think of a time. I mean, I guess we'll find out as we're going through this, and I'm having a hard time remembering. But like,
I actually think that it doesn't ever come up again where it's like, oh, I have to attack that guy's monster, but it's in the back, so I have to clear the way.
like yeah, like I don't
they do
think
have times where like more than 5 monsters are summoned, but I don't think it's for like any like plan reason. I think this is they have a bunch of monsters.
That's what I mean. It's like it doesn't like give you that much of an advantage.
Yeah, like the 500 attack points, that's much more of an advantage.
Well, shit, yeah, exactly. But the other stuff, not really.
Yeah. The Pharaoh sets 2 cards, summons Queen's Knight in defense mode, and passes his turn. The Pharaoh activates Dust Tornado when Grimo starts his turn and tries to destroy the Seal of Orichalcos, but he learns that the, quote, the power of Orichalcos can destroy the Seal of Orichalcos. So Dust Tornado does nothing. Wasted.
Yay.
Grimo activates the Warrior Returning Alive, getting Warrior Die Griffer back. He summons it, then activates A Forces, which strengthens all his warrior monsters by 200 attack points for each warrior monster he controls, which is 4. So Griffer has 3,000 attack points, and the Bronze Knights have 1,800 attack points. Griffer attacks and destroys Dark Magician, and then a Bronze Knight attempts to attack the Queen's Knight, but the Pharaoh activates Magical Academy, which lets him summon a monster by attributing a monster he controls and discarding 2 cards. The monster summoned this way has its level raised by 2 and gains 500 attack points, and the Dark Magician Girl gets additional... Oh yeah, I don't think I actually said. He summons Dark Magician Girl by doing Magical Academy.
I was so confused.
To answer the question you have at the end of your notes, because she's summoned by Magical Academy, she gets an extra 500 attack points, and then she gets an extra 300 for Dark Magician being in the grave.
That was my only other note, was like, why the hell did that happen? Because it didn't. I might have not been paying attention, or I might have missed it, but they kind of glossed over that. It felt like in the dub. But thank you for giving that insight, because I obviously missed it.
Yeah, I do want to note that her 2,800 attack points, like, it doesn't matter for how this duel ends that much, but there is something a little strange. The Pharaoh Heart of the cards is way into getting Diffusion Wave Motion, which I guess is why they had Dark Magician Girl's level be raised, because Diffusion Wave Motion requires like a level 7 or higher spellcaster, which she needs higher level 4. Which then lets Diffusion Wave Motion have Dark Magician Girl attack all of Grimo's monsters at once, which takes out all of Grimo's life points and just ends the duel. For some reason, Warrior Die Griffer like also got blown up first, despite it being bigger than Dark Magician Girl still, but who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's over. The duel's over. Yugi wins.
Yugi does win. However, this is not Battle City rules, despite being in the location of Battle City, so Grimo tosses his rarest card, Obelisk, to Raphael before the Seal of Orichalcos shrinks down and closes around him, and he gets Green Beam Soul Raptured.
I think it's cool. I always thought the Orichalcos stuff was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's neat. The Pharaoh demands the bikers give the god cards back, but Raphael says, nah.
No.
And instead, he, for some reason, frees Rex and Weevil's souls out of those cards.
Yeah, that was like, here's your consolation prize. You thought you were getting god cards. You're just getting those guys back so we can use them later to also lose their souls again.
I think a real consolation prize would have been just keeping their souls in the cards.
I think so too, but you know, this is Yu-Gi-Oh, so they don't give us what we like. If they give us what we wanted, Tristan would be falling off a cliff every episode.
Yeah. Raphael also tosses the empty Seal of Orichalcos cards back down to the Pharaoh, so I guess they're like one-time use things because the cards are like whited out now.
Yeah, I guess it was just to show it off.
Valen tells Joey that he'll face him soon, and only 2 of the 3 bikers have said their names, so this is where Valen says his name. The Pharaoh decides to mug Grimo's limp, dead, soulless body and finds the Seal of Orichalcos card that has his soul trapped inside of it. And Taya also decides she wants to get some free stuff from a dead man, and so she takes his necklace with a green stone in it. And the Pharaoh says it feels like the power of a Millennium item when he holds the stone.
Ooh.
We cut from this murder scene to the next day, where the squad are mugging Rex and Weevil for info on the Seal of Orichalcos and Grimo, which they already have. Like, they don't tell them anything new. I think the writers think we're stupid and, like, don't think we can retain information.
I think it's because it's a kid's show and it's so episodic that they have to kind of remind people what's going on.
Right, but it was this episode.
I know, but I think when you're tuning in, kind of I have to think about it like I'm jumping into an episode from a commercial or something, and I'm like trying to understand the plot, because that was really something that I think a lot of people did back in the early 2000s. Is like you came like. Think about Family Guy. Every time Family Guy came back on from commercial break, they literally said what happened in the last bit of the plot. before. It's like, Peter, I can't believe you sold all the kids for a Klondike bar. Well, Lois, you told me what you do with the Klondike bar, and so I gave him an answer. Like that would
I
be
think
how
there's
like
a difference where it's like more like this is a series where we have a plot episode to episode versus Family Guy, which is like a single episode contained storylines. Like,
yeah, true.
trust your audience will like get the information and keep it because they have to for the story.
The business people don't trust their audiences. They just trust the money they get in.
Oof.
Sorry, it's true.
Rex and Weevil learn the God cards have been stolen through this interaction, and they want to get them for themselves, which is exactly the same way they started out the last episode.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The squad are walking through the city and talking about how children all over the world are acting like their souls have been taken, and this global tragedy is undercut by the arrival of Rebecca, whom no one remembers,
Boo.
until she shows the Ties of Friendship card that Yugi gave her. Rebecca is here to move the plot along and takes the squad to see her grandfather, Professor Hopkins. Hopkins and Grandpa are having a museum date looking at the sealed tablet of memories, and Hopkins addresses Yugi as Nameless Pharaoh, but we don't have time to dwell on that, as we cut to the biker trio, Sans Bikes, flying a seaplane to a tower on a remote island, and the episode ends.
They're now the Seaplane Trio.
Yep. Don't worry, I talk about the seaplane biker thing immediately.
Oh boy.
Episode 147, which is titled Nameless Dragon Timaeus, which means it isn't nameless, you dumb bastard. You just said its name.
It's so true.
You stupid bitch.
What is it? Why is this episode called Janoshi Dies? Stupid.
Yeah, at least he died in the episode.
Kind of.
You named the nameless dragon in the title of this one.
Fucking crazy.
We're still with the bikers in the seaplane, who remind us they are in fact bikers and not pilots, by dropping out of the seaplane on their motorcycles. Raphael, the tall blonde biker guy, was the one who was flying at the end of the last episode, so I assume that the plane will now crash into the sea.
No, it's got its own Seal Warrior Calcos to protect it.
The Seal of Orcalcus is absolutely not protective. We also don't follow up on where this is going for a bit, so I guess that's just the ongoing theme. We'll show you a scene at the start of an episode, and then we'll ignore it and hope you forget. Professor Hopkins starts off the actual meat and potatoes of the episode with the low stakes of the Pharaoh being the only one who can save mankind from extinction.
Whoa, low stakes. Not something we've had to do before.
We are so lucky that a 3,000-year-old Pharaoh got reincarnated at the right time, or humanity would be fucked.
I know, right? It's always like that. It's destiny. I know, it's just pretty good timing, apparently.
We need the promised one to save us. Where is he? He lived about 3,000 years ago, and they hadn't cracked immortality yet, so we're fucked.
We're getting there.
Hopkins lore drops about monsters being sealed in tablets, shadow games, etc., and Yugi acts like this is all new information for some reason.
I know, he kind of acts like this is like... But I was like, didn't Ishizu give him this information, like, last season?
Yeah.
Or the season before that?
Yeah, we got the information. We saw the flashback with Priest Seto and the ancient pharaoh, and...
It's... The exposition's awful sometimes.
Yeah. Hopkins explains that he found dual monster tablets in the ruins he was exploring in the Atlantic Ocean, but they are older than the ones he found in Egypt. 10,000 years versus 3,000 years.
So they do talk about it.
They don't say Atlantis.
True.
They just Atlantic Ocean.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. In fact, they even say it's like off the Caribbean.
Come on. Are
Yep.
you kidding me?
That's where Atlantis is.
I guess you're right, but... Jesus.
He also found a mural depicting a monster that destroyed the ancient civilization, so the theory is that the monsters appearing now are related to the events of the past. Hopkins says it's possible that all depictions of mysticism in the world's cultures could be indicative of them all having some sort of explanation for monster summoning, to which I say, where's my Jesus Christ card, Konami? Commit to the bit.
They'll never commit to that bit.
Cowards.
They changed fucking Monster Reborn because it looked kind of like a thing, like a cult thing or whatever.
Cowards.
They took.
And also it looked like an onk.
I don't remember. I don't care what they're
It
called.
looks more culty now they've made it their own thing versus something that's like culturally relevant to a people.
Yeah, but we can't talk about culture unless it's America.
Yes, the only culture. Gun and war crime.
Don't forget Burger.
I do respect Burger. Speaking of things that I don't have respect for, Rebecca says some theorize that there are other universes that go beyond time, space, and dimension, so I guess not even Yu-Gi-Oh! Was able to escape from the multiverse fever of modern media.
Yay. Modern media.
Also, Rebecca's in college for some fucking reason.
She's a super genius.
Yeah, at one point they say something about Americans grow up fast, which I don't know where we're going with this. Yugi shows Professor Hopkins the stone they stole from Gurimo's dead fucking body, and Hopkins says it looks like the stones he had found in the ruins, and he takes it to examine it more closely. The old dudes, Grandpa, Professor Hopkins, and Rebecca all depart, and Yugi hears a voice calling for help, but none of the other squad members do, so they brush it off, which is the wrong response to someone calling for help, and everyone goes home. Now, we finally go back to the island from the opening of the episode, where the bikers have entered a temple and present the god cards to the teal-haired man from before, who has still not been named. And I have a note here that his name is probably Doma, but I find out soon I am wrong. Their actual just general group is Doma.
Interesting. They never really gave a name for the group in the dub.
We know his name because they do, in fact, say it soon-ish, or this episode or the next one. It's Darts. His name is Darts.
We acknowledge Darts. Darts is here.
Yeah, Darts with a Z, notably. So that's how you know he's an OC.
It's edgy.
Yeah. He's got the head of Chromia, teal and yellow eyes. He places the god cards into snake statue mouths, and he says they'll be used to open the door that is keeping his god sealed away. And this makes the Aurora Borealis appear.
Aurora Borealis!
In my kitchen, at this time of year. Localized entirely in my Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime.
May I see it?
Yes.
You do steam a good ham.
Yugi gets pulled from his unrestful sleep into the Millennium Puzzle. By the way, we're back with Yugi now.
Oh, yeah. Him.
Yeah, and he and the Pharaoh both hear the same voice from before calling for help. They wander around the puzzle, find Kuribo, who leads them to a room that has new stuff to the Pharaoh. He's never seen it before. It's crazy bright, fluorescently lit. And they wander through it before falling into a hole, which opens up in some super Western fantasy-looking place with a big castle, a floating island, and of course the giant spooky eye.
We just love the giant spooky eye. They do it in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I think we have one of those over the Washington Monument now.
Ooh, Illuminati.
They enter the castle and find 3 dragons sealed in crystal, and then Dark Magician Girl appears before them to be a lore dump, because we can't make that many new characters, I guess.
No, we have to keep the character design the same. It's easy.
Yep, we're allowed 4. We get Darts and the 3 bikers. That's it. Everyone else reuse.
And Gurimo, or however you say his name.
He didn't last long.
True. But then everyone...
And we'll never think about him ever again.
I'm thinking about him
Oh
now.
my god, they left his body there.
They did. Holy
That's going to collect flies.
They get it back somehow, I think.
In other news, the newly crowned King of Games is accused of having murdered a man at a construction site and leaving him there to die.
Is it murder or is it self-defense? Because he didn't ask for that game.
I mean, I'm pretty sure murder can still be done in self-defense.
Yeah, but then you're not charged for it.
I think he can still be sued for it.
I guess it depends. Anyway, I'm not a lawyer.
Also, we don't know Japanese law.
It's very strict, apparently.
Yeah. Anyway, Dark Magician Girl starts talking about some stuff. She explains that the thoughts of people in the real world made this world appear, and now the spooky eye has appeared, and it's absorbing the monster spirits in this world. She says the worlds are linked, but hasn't really said how anything that's happening is bad. Near as I can tell, the spooky eye is just pulling monsters out of this world and spitting them out in the real world, and they aren't affecting stuff in the real world, so no harm, no foul. I don't think the writers did a good job establishing what the actual bad part of this is.
I was gonna say they don't really explain this link, or it's just oh, there's just Dual Monster World now, and that's how that makes sense. And I'm like, but why is it here, and why is it relevant, and what's the point of it?
And why is it my fucking problem?
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. This is one of the places that just doesn't work.
Dark Magician Girl says that the dragons protected the world in ancient times, so wake them boys up and get to protagonisting. Someone was rude and stuck a sword in one of the dragon's eyes, and Yugi and the Pharaoh pull it out, which makes it decrystallize. And then they both call out the dragon as Timaeus, so nameless dragon named. End episode,
Yay.
I guess. We did it.
We did it.
But we're not done
quite
quite yet, because Yugi wakes up and sees the Aurora Borealis in the night sky and goes to check it out. And he finds the squad in the city square also looking up at a giant crystal in the sky, which shatters, revealing the spooky eye.
The spooky eye!
Darts in the temple sends a tornado from the eye at Yugi, which I guess is a thing he can do. And Yugi manifests Timaeus as an actual monster and calls the dragon forth, which overpowers the eye and blows it up. So problem solved. Arc over. Everyone go home.
But I am home.
But wait. Dark Magician Girl appears again and says the evil will return and must be defeated for good. So we're not fucking done yet. Episode ends.
Yay! Fun episode. I like Tomias. Dragon good friend cards for Joey, Kaiba, and Yugi. Spoilers.
Moving on, episode 148. News reports of the Aurora Borealis and tornadoes appearing all over the world. My God. God forbid I be able to see the Aurora Borealis without going to the fucking Arctic.
Yay.
Or wherever that is. I don't know.
It's definitely somewhere.
Yugi has told the squad the plot of the season off screen that he got from Dark Magician Girl, so everyone knows what's going on. Grandpa brings in some mail to Yugi from America, and the squad thinks, hey, maybe it's something from Duke. He's in America. But nope, it's from Pegasus. And he sent them a videotape. They should all watch it together.
I'm sure this isn't familiar things.
They do all watch it together.
Pegasus? He's supposed to be dead.
Yeah, weird. Anyway, in the video, Pegasus says he's been investigating the events that are happening all over the world, which is weird because I think it's been like 2 days.
Yeah, and he's like, don't blame me, Yugi boy. It wasn't me.
He says he has some info that he can give them, but he's being watched, so he can't come to them, despite having sent them a videotape in the mail, which he could have told them all the information in that.
Or he could have just come to them.
Or pick up a fucking phone. And no, he can't come to them. He's being watched.
But it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Don't think about it.
I'm thinking about it.
He's made arrangements for all of them to fly out to Industrial Illusions headquarters. Rex and Weevil have bugged Yugi's room, literally, because Weevil apparently has a little listening device that looks like a little bug.
Yeah, we're going to see in the next some odd episodes.
They're sticking around.
Yeah, they're doing the Power Rangers bad
Vulcan Skull.
Yeah, exactly. Where they're just like, they're there. They're not necessarily good, but they're also like,
they're just
harmless.
kind of annoying.
Yeah, they're a little
they're
harmless.
in the way.
Oh, they'll truly be in the way at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, they fantasize about they misunderstand why Pegasus wants them to come and think that Pegasus is going to be like giving all of them rare cards, which why would Taya or Tristan care about cards? Because only Joey and Yugi really duel. But they want to get rare cards too, so they want to follow after the squad. So that's their plot for the season.
Yay. They're very useful and they should be in here.
Cut to the ocean where there's some evil bullshit happening under the water. And Darts is right miffed about Timaeus showing up and stopping the spooky eye, and plots to empower the eye by feeding it even more souls. Raphael, Valen, and the other one all name their targets, the Pharaoh, Joey, and Kaiba. Raphael refers to Dome as Darts, which is what I've written in my notes, because this is where Darts' name is finally said.
Huh.
He says it like when Valen and Imelda are like yelling at each other about like not knowing why the other wants to go after their targets. Like Valen wants to know why you care so much about Kaiba. Imelda says why you care about Joey. They're like fighting about it, and Raphael's like, hey, quit starting shit in front of Darts. You're embarrassing us.
Raphael definitely is the best one of the three.
Yes. Also, pretty sure he's the only one who's like, cards actually exist.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Yeah. This is the part where I looked up the whole Doma Darts thing and found out Doma was the name of the organization, and Darts is the main guy. I knew his name was Darts in the dub. I just didn't know it was that in the sub, too.
They changed it a lot, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Darts somehow knows that the hero squad are going to go find Pegasus, and he says he already has plans for him, but he decides to send the bikers out there to intercept the squad. So, shout out to a villain who knows how to run shit.
Yeah, he's pretty effective.
Speaking of shout out to evil, we cut to Pegasus in his office at Industrial Illusions, where he's real stressed about something. He thinks he's going to die or something or other. When he sees the silhouette of the most beautiful woman alive behind him and cries out in fear, which is the opposite of what I would do.
I think you'd cry out in joy.
Yeah. Cry.
Do you think they got so you probably remember how Mai's voice was in the Beautiful Woman's voice was in the dub, and you noticed that it was different when
she didn't talk.
Well, she didn't talk at all.
Nope.
She talks in the thing, but she has her like her. You know how it's like a little different. Like
yes. I know what you're talking about.
New voice actress, or they just thought that's what Evil Mai sounds like? I wonder.
Let me just see. Erica Schroeder replaced Megan Hollingshead in season 4.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense then.
Yep.
Okay, that makes more sense than anything then. Okay.
Yeah, the beautiful one was Mai. Mai's evil now.
Mai's corrupted, manipulated, something. Not necessarily evil. Evil.
Mai's not something. She's everything.
True change.
He's just Ken. I haven't actually seen that movie yet.
What movie is it?
Barbie?
You haven't seen Barbie yet?
No.
I've seen it quite a few times. I
Really?
did the Barbenheimer thing.
Oh, really?
So I got to go see it.
That's
and
fun.
then my niece loved that movie, so one time when
Oppenheimer?
No, you know that it was Barbie. And
I was gonna say maybe keep an eye on that one.
I mean, it's Oppenheimer's good. I'd be more impressed by that actually, but no, she loved Barbie. So when she stayed over our house one day, she watched it rewatched it like 3 times. So I've seen it a few times. It's pretty fine. It's a fine movie. I don't have any qualms with it really.
Neat.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Anyway, the squad are getting all packed up for their trip, and we have some amusing bits about this with Tristan not knowing what to pack, Tay not knowing how many days to pack for. Joey's just like notifying his sisters, like, hey, don't worry, I'm going to America, I'll be back in a bit, and blah, 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 blah. Yugi and the Pharaoh have a brief talk about this new enemy, which amounts to Yugi saying, hey, don't worry about it, which, like, I think should worry a little.
It's a little bit. There's monsters everywhere.
A man died yesterday.
No, his soul was taken. He can get it back.
Right. A man's body is lying on the top of a construction site, and for all we know, no one's going to find him for a while.
They're not going to move it.
Nope. Grandpa sees the squad off at the airport, and Rex and Weevil decide that the best way to follow the gang is to sneak into the plane by hiding in a luggage bag.
Very smart. They're very smart
did
people.
look it up, and the approximate time for a flight from Tokyo to Los Angeles is a little over 10 hours.
Yeah, so they're in there for 10 hours.
Yeah.
With no food, no water. Idiots.
Yeah.
Fucking morons.
One flight from Japan to California later, and everyone has landed, and the squad get in a shuttle car and head off to Industrial Illusions.
And they will not leave that car for the next 2 episodes.
Yep. We see Kaiba properly now in the American headquarters of Kaiba Corporation, wearing his purple coat, which he wore, well, it's not like his purple coat from Duelist Kingdom exactly, but it's kind of like a cross between the purple and the white coat.
It's the one he wore at the beginning of the Battle City arc when he meets up with Shizu.
Yes.
It's in our one art, like one of the first arts I did for the show, and it was season 2, and it was that outfit. I remember. Yeah. I had to draw it.
Kaiba's dealing with some corporate stuff, like someone buying up all the shares of Kaiba Corp, which I
kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah. Although I think it's kind of weird that Kaiba would allow something to get that far after his whole way of taking over Kaiba Corp was by buying up the majority shares.
It's hard to protect that. I think it's just like business. It's like how businesses can be bought out and stuff.
Yeah.
And they also don't do it. They also don't do it probably correctly. It's just supposed to be like a plot thing.
Yeah. Kaiba then gets a call from one Maximilian Pegasus, and Pegasus implies on the call that it was him that bought all the shares as a way of getting Kaiba's attention. Pegasus says he wants to duel Kaiba, and if Kaiba refuses, he'll sell off all of his shares and the company value will tank. Which I guess that's how business works in Yu-Gi-Oh! Land.
Probably
sure,
not.
Fuck
exactly.
it, who cares?
But it's a kid's show.
He tells Kaiba to come to his villa on Duelist Kingdom, which it feels kind of weird for Pegasus to tell Kaiba to come visit him at one place and the rest of the squad to visit him somewhere else.
I wonder if someone's walking into a trap.
Why one person? Why not both?
Who knows? I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah. Kaiba decides to go and open a cartoonishly locked down vault, which is like 3 giant bolts and then like a wall of vaults, and he opens it up and there's his dual disc and cards, and he and Mokuba just take the Blue Eyes White Jet and go to Duelist Kingdom. Episode ends.
Yay! Here we go. We're getting the plot stuff. No, we're going back to Duelist Kingdom. Actually, it's gonna be just that again.
But this time, again
with dual discs.
Yeah, which is definitely not a rehash of the thing we already had in Pyramid of Light, where Kaiba
I
goes
know.
back to Duelist Kingdom to duel Pegasus.
There's some very like interesting rehashes. I mean, like Yu-Gi-Oh! R wasn't even like a thing yet, so like they couldn't even do that. But like, there's some rehashes, or there's some stuff that they bring up in other things. So that's very interesting. I wonder if they knew that or they took that from the movie, because it was America that like commissioned the movie. Like, it was an American movie first, and then they made it into a Japanese movie.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a weird production history.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really popular in America. I think more popular than Japan. I think that's one of the reasons. Either way, I'll finish off the episodes, and I'll try and get it as quick as possible because we've already been like almost hitting an hour. So, I I take the last two, which is first one is episode 149. And
I know it's been a while since we've recorded, but I can tell you're back to your old ways because you aren't doing paragraph breaks in your notes, and I'm gonna kill you for it.
Oh shoot!
I'm gonna
Yeah,
end
I
your
just
life.
kind of did it. I just totally did that. I totally forgot. Wow, I really am out of practice. It's been like a month. Whatever. We open the episode in San Francisco, where the gang have floated into. Tristan is apparently a tour guide, but Taya brings us back to reality as they remind us they are going to see Pegasus, who is in serious danger. Kaiba is flying his Blue Eyes White jet with Mokuba as they are going to meet Pegasus, but this is on Duel's Kingdom Island. It's the same bit as we did before. Kaiba and Mokuba enter the castle and are greeted by a surprisingly empty castle as they begin to look for Pegasus. They end up in the duel arena that we would see in the Duel's Kingdom finals, but it's basically doesn't have the duel arena yet, so it's a big just empty drop. Kaiba demands Pegasus to show himself, which he obliges as he enters in from the other side of the arena in all his cheekiness. He's very like, "Hello, Kaiba boy. I missed you. Oh, like I beat you that one time, remember?"
Oh, something I had neglected to mention before was that Mokuba had some apprehensions about going to see Pegasus because he has some understandable trauma about getting his soul sucked out and put in a card. Which also
that's kind of
here
here
a little
too.
bit here with Mokuba kind of like hiding behind Kaiba once Pegasus walks out.
Mm-hmm. It is like nice. It's a nice touch to everything. Kaiba believes Pegasus is behind all the monstrous phenomenon and taking over his company. We get some flashbacks of Duelist Kingdom where Pegasus utterly trounced Kaiba and took both brothers' souls. Kaiba's fed up and just wants to let the cards do the talking. So the duel gets underway with the duel arena springing into action. Pegasus takes his cards out of his pocket, which made me cringe, but the amount of abuse of some of the cards in this show that they take should not be shocking to me anymore. He literally pulls them out of his pocket. It's crazy. No card protectors done.
Time in our lives where we had like unsleeved, like rubber band wrapped.
I know, but like hindsight. The duel begins and Pegasus opens with Toon Alligator and Defenseman and a face down end of turn. Kaiba knows that this is the same strategy as his last duel and responds with Spirit Dragon, which attacks Toon Alligator, which destroys it and inflicts 300 piercing damage before switching to defense position. Kaiba ends the turn with 2 face down cards. Pegasus responds by playing Toon Table of Contents, a magic card that has him search his deck for a card with Toon in the title. We can all guess where this is going. Pegasus plays Toon World, a classic card of his. Pegasus then plays Toon Masked Sorcerer, but Kaiba responds with the Cloning Trap card, which creates a copy of the same Toon Pegasus just summoned. Kaiba takes his turn and summons Blue Eyes White Dragon by sacrificing the 2 monsters he has on the field. Pegasus reminds Kaiba that Toons can only be destroyed by other Toons and reveals a trap called Toon Mask, which trades his Toon on the field for Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, which very much upsets Kaiba. Kaiba activates the magic card Shrink, which cuts down Toon Dragon's attack in half. After that, Kaiba boosts his dragon with a magic card, which this name was so fast I can't remember it. You probably remember it. And attacks, which appears not to connect, which Kaiba was counting on as the magic card he played allowed him to draw a card for every time Blue Eyes' attack fails. So, this is the way he keeps getting draw support. Pegasus takes his turn and gives up 500 life points to have Blue Eyes Toon Dragon attack directly. Kaiba responds with the gate attack and ends the attack. Pegasus responds with a magic card called Toon Rollback, which sacrifices Blue Eyed Toon Dragon to summon Toon Dark Magician Girl and attacks directly for 2,000 points of damage. Kaiba has Blue Eyes attack Toon Dark Magician Girl to draw another card, and seems to have drawn the card that will help him. Kaiba plays Winged Beast of Giant Dragon to return Blue Eyes to his hand to wipe all magic and trap cards off Pegasus' side of the field, which destroys Toon World and all of the monsters. Kaiba ends with summoning Versago the Destroyer. It notices Pegasus seemingly sulking at this sudden twist in the duel, and he's just, like, Kaiba's basically assuming he's about to forfeit, and is surprised Pegasus thought to use the same strategy to beat him again, and starts questioning him.
Versace the Destroyer. Send joke.
Oh no! I never thought about that.
Well, you shouldn't. It's stupid.
I mean, that's why I'm surprised I didn't think of it. Pegasus reveals himself not to be Pegasus at all, but actually Alistair, one of the new antagonists, who disguised himself as the creator of the card game. Alistair draws and plays Seal of Orichalcos as Kaiba tells... Alistair draws and plays Seal of Orichalcos as he tells